How can someone steal, scam, torture, or even kill another human being and then sleep peacefully that night?
Most people feel guilt after hurting someone. Their conscience reminds them they did something wrong.
What if I told you that the most dangerous criminal isn't always the one carrying a weapon, but the one who feels no guilt for what they've done?
Some criminals seem completely unaffected. Why? Do they have no conscience?
Or is something much deeper happening inside the criminal mind? Today, we're uncovering
one of the most disturbing questions in criminology. Why do some criminals feel no guilt?
Hello Blommies, welcome to Criminology Unlocked, unveiling the science behind crime, security, and society.
This video is strictly for educational purposes and does not promote crime or violence.
Not every criminal is the same. Many offenders actually feel remorse and regret. However, some criminals appear emotionally detached from the harm they cause.
To understand why, we need to examine psychology, criminology, neuroscience, and human behavior. Guilt is an emotional response that occurs when someone believes they have violated a moral standard.
It serves an important purpose. Guilt helps regulate behavior, encourage empathy, prevent future harm, and maintain social relationships. Most people experience guilt
because they can imagine how their actions affect others. But what happens when that emotional system doesn't work properly?
That's where criminology becomes fascinating. Now that we know what guilt is, let's look at lack of empathy.
One major reason some criminals feel little or no guilt is a lack of empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share another person's feelings. When empathy is weak, victims become objects,
and emotional consequences seem distant. Instead of seeing a victim as a person with feelings,
some offenders see them merely as obstacles, opportunities, or targets.
The less human a victim appears in the offender's mind, the easier it becomes to harm them without remorse.
Let's explore psychopathy and antisocial.
Some offenders display traits associated with psychopathy.
Research has found that psychopathic individuals may show reduced empathy, lack of remorse, manipulative behavior,
superficial charm, and emotional detachment. Not all criminals are psychopaths, and not all people with psychopathic traits commit crimes.
However, among certain serious offenders, these traits can make guilt less likely. A person who does not emotionally connect
with the suffering of others, they may not experience guilt in the same way most people do. This video is strictly for educational purposes and does not promote crime or violence.
Let's explore criminal justification of why some criminals feel no guilt. Many criminals do not see themselves as villains. Instead, they justify their actions. Examples include, everyone does it. The victim deserved it. I had no choice. I was only following orders. I needed the money. Criminologists call these techniques of neutralization.
These mental strategies allow offenders to reduce feelings of guilt by convincing themselves that their behavior was acceptable.
Let's talk about environment and upbringing of why some criminals feel no guilt. People learn behavior from their environment.
Growing up around violence, criminal activity, abuse, gang culture, and chronic neglect
can influence how individuals view right and wrong. If harmful behavior becomes normal, feelings of guilt may become weaker over time.
This does not excuse crime, but it helps explain why some offenders developed different moral boundaries than others.
Let's explore how repeated crime can reduce guilt. The first crime may feel uncomfortable. The 10th crime may feel routine. The 100th crime may feel normal. Repeated offending can lead to desensitization. Over time, criminals may become emotionally numb to actions that once felt wrong. What shocked them yesterday becomes ordinary today. This process can gradually weaken guilt and emotional reactions.
Not all criminals lack guilt. One of the biggest misconceptions is that all criminals are cold-hearted.
This isn't true. Many offenders feel deep regret, experience shame, struggle with depression, confess later, and attempt to make amends. Criminology shows that criminal behavior and human emotion are complex. Some offenders feel overwhelming guilt, others feel very little. and some switch between both.
Some research suggests differences in how certain parts of the brain process emotions, fear, and empathy.
Studies have found that some offenders show reduced emotional responses to the suffering of others. This doesn't automatically make someone a criminal, but it may affect how guilt and empathy are experienced.
Many criminals reduce guilt by convincing themselves their actions are normal. Once a behavior feels normal, guilt becomes easier to ignore. People tend to feel guilt.
And they see their victims as human beings. But when criminals see victims as objects, enemies, or mere opportunities, guilt can become much weaker. If guilt is one of society's invisible safeguards, what happens when that safeguard disappears?
In summary, so why do some criminals feel no guilt? The answer often involves a combination of reduced empathy, psychopathic traits, justification mechanisms, environmental influences, and repeated exposure to crime.
Understanding these factors helps us better understand criminal behavior, but it also reminds us of something important.
The most dangerous criminals are not always the strongest or most violent. Sometimes they're the ones who have learned to silence their conscience.
This video is strictly for educational purposes and does not promote crime or violence.
If this opens your eyes, then don't keep it to yourself. Hit the like button, drop a comment,
And smash that subscribe button for more mind-blowing criminology insights.
Because this is not content, this is criminology in real life. Let's build a community that thinks deeper about crime and society. Thank you for watching Criminology Unlocked. Tell me what you learn about why do some criminals feel no guilt in the comment section.
Remember, knowledge is your greatest security. See you soon.